Your Bitcoin is lazy. It's been sitting in your wallet for months. You could be doing absolutely nothing while real investors are earning 4, 6, 8% on the exact same coins every single year. And the frustrating part? You've probably heard the word DeFi thrown around 100 times, but nobody explains it in a way that actually lets you use it. So you leave your crypto idle and quietly lose money to missed yield. In the next 10 minutes, I'm showing you exactly how DeFi passive income works. It's the 3 ways to earn yield. The 4 real risks nobody warns you about. And the specific strategy I use to make my Bitcoin and Ethereum work for me. The truth is, the market doesn't require constant attention or trading to build wealth. In fact, many successful investors practice a hands-off approach. This is the part of crypto that separates investors from holders. Let's get into it. Your Bitcoin is lazy. It's been sitting in your wallet for months, doing absolutely nothing. And the frustrating part? You've probably heard the word DeFi thrown around 100 times. And the frustrating part? You've probably heard the word DeFi thrown around 100 times. But nobody explains it in a way that actually lets you use it. So you leave your crypto idle and quietly lose money to missed yield. In the next 10 minutes, I'll show you how to start earning. I'm showing you exactly how DeFi passive income works. T-Road, the 3 ways to earn yield. The 4 real risks nobody warns you about. And the specific strategy I use to make my Bitcoin and Ethereum work for me without trading a single time. This is the part. Separates investors from holders. Let's get into it. Here's a question most crypto investors never ask themselves. If you own Bitcoin, what is it actually doing for you right now? If you own Ethereum, what is it doing right now? In most cases, nothing. It's sitting in a wallet waiting for the price to go up. That's fine. That's the traditional hold strategy. But there's a second layer most beginners never touch base in. And it's the layer where your crypto starts generating income while you do absolutely nothing. That layer is called DeFi, decentralized finance. And I want to explain it the way nobody else does. Without the jargon and without the hype. Imagine a bank. You deposit your money. The bank lends it to someone else at a higher rate. Interest rate. They pay back the higher rate. The bank keeps most of the profit and gives you a tiny percentage, maybe 0.01% in a savings account. That's traditional finance. Now imagine a bank without the bank. No CEO, no buildings, no middlemen, just code DAO. A smart contract that automatically connects people who want to lend with people who want to borrow. And because there's no middleman taking the cut, the lender, you Bitcoin, keeps most of the profit. That's DeFi. That's it. That's the whole concept. Now, inside DeFi, there are 3 main ways to earn. I'm going to break each one down in plain language. The first is staking. Staking means you lock up your crypto to help secure a blockchain network, and the network pays you for it. Ethereum is the biggest example. If you stake ETH, you help validate transactions on the Ethereum network, and the network rewards you with more ETH, usually between 3 and 5% per year. It's the closest thing crypto has to a savings account. Low risk, moderate return, Extremely simple. The key thing about staking a BADE, you're not trading. You're not trying to time the market. You just lock up your coins and they generate more coins over time. If you believe in Ethereum long-term anyway, staking it is a no-brainer. Your holdings grow while you sleep. The second way is lending. This is exactly what it sounds like. You deposit your crypto into a lending protocol or cond. Platforms like Aave or Compound are the biggest ones. And other users borrow from you. They pay interest. You earn that interest automatically. Rates vary based on supply and demand. But for stablecoins, you're usually looking at 4 to 8% a year. For volatile coins like Bitcoin or Ethereum, it's typically 1 to 3%. Why would anyone borrow crypto instead of just selling? Because sometimes traders want to use their Bitcoin as collateral to get cash without selling their Bitcoin con. They believe the price is going up, and they are right. Don't want to miss out, so they borrow against it. That's who you're lending to. And the smart contract forces them to put up more collateral than they borrow for the pays. So even if they can't pay back, the system automatically liquidates them to protect your money. The third way and this is where it gets more complicated, so stay with me, Paul, is called liquidity providing. This is the highest yield method, but also the one with the most risk. Here's how it works. Every time someone swaps one crypto for another on a decentralized exchange, Peru, let's say they trade USDC for ETH GAU, there has to be a pool of both coins for the swap to happen. That pool is called a liquidity pool, and the people who put their money into that pool are liquidity providers. Every time a swap happens, a small fee is charged, and that fee goes to the liquidity providers proportional to how much they contributed. The yields here can be huge. I've seen pools offering 20, 30, even 50% a year. But there's a catch, and this has a name that sounds made up but is very real. It's called impermanent loss. I'll explain it in the simplest way possible. If the two coins in your pool move in opposite directions to PAV, one pumps, the other dumps to PAV, the pool automatically rebalances and you end up with less of the coin that went up. So you earn fees, but you lose some of the upside from the coin that was outperforming. For most beginners, liquidity providing is not where you start. It's an advanced strategy. Now, here is the part most DeFi influencers skip: the risks. Because DeFi is not a bank. There is no FDIC insurance. There is no customer service. If something goes wrong, there is no one to call. And that's why you need to understand these 4 risks before you put a single dollar into DeFi. Risk number 1, smart contract risk. The entire system runs on code. If the code has a bug, hackers exploit it and drain the protocol. This has happened dozens of times in the last few years. How do I mitigate this? I only use protocols that have been audited by reputable firms, have been live for at least 2 years, and have over 100 million in total value locked. Platforms like Aave and Lido have been battle tested. Random new protocols with 6 figures in TVL. I stay away. Risk number 2, impermanent loss. I already explained this one. The fix is simple. If you're a beginner, stick with staking and lending. Don't touch liquidity pools until you actually understand how impermanent loss affects your specific position. Risk number 3, platform risk. even audited protocols can fail if the team behind them is shady. This is where video 2 of this series to Pro, the 5-point research process 2, becomes critical. If a DeFi protocol has an anonymous team and no verifiable track record, the yield doesn't matter. Skip it. Risk number 4, Hannon. And this is the one nobody talks about, Tan. Scam yields. If a protocol is offering 80% APY, 100% APY, 200%, those numbers are not sustainable. They're either a Ponzi structure or they're paying you in a newly minted token that will crash the moment people start withdrawing. Realistic sustainable yields in 2026 are not between 3 and 10% for most strategies. Anything above 15%, I immediately ask where the field is coming from. If I can't answer that question, I don't deposit. So here's the strategy I personally use. My Ethereum cow, I stake it through Lido. Roughly 4% APY, almost zero effort, I can unstake whenever. My stablecoins per toe, I split between Aave for lending and keep some in my wallet for opportunities. Lending gives me around 5 to 7% on USDC, way better than any savings account. For my Bitcoin PAV, honestly, I mostly just hold it. There are wrapped Bitcoin strategies, but they add complexity and risk I don't think is worth it for most people. I'd rather my BTC sit safely than chase 2% yield with smart contract risk. This simple strategy 5, staking my ETH, lending my stablecoins, holding my BTC 5, generates real income every single month. Not life-changing money if you have a small portfolio, but meaningful. And it compounds. That's the real power. One more thing before I go. And this is where I want to be honest with you. Understanding DeFi takes time. I was intimidated when I first started. The interfaces look complicated, the terminology is dense, and the fear of losing everything to a hack is real. The thing that accelerated my learning was being part of a community where other investors were already doing this and sharing what worked. The platform I use is linked in the description. They break down every new protocol, flag the risks, and have analyst reports you can actually read. If you want to skip the expensive mistakes I made figuring this out alone, check it out. If you'd rather learn slowly for free, this channel has you covered. In the next video, I'm telling you the real stories of the Carfe. Not the cartoon scams everyone already knows about, but the subtle mistakes that destroyed portfolios of smart, careful investors. Some of these stories are hard to watch, but every single one contains a lesson that could save you from making the same mistake yourself. If you've ever wondered, how do people actually lose everything in crypto? That video is the answer. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. And drop your biggest DeFi question in the comments. I read every single one. I'll see you in the next one.